This is Jamie with BarEye. In this video, we're going to explain how you can modify the settings and set up the ordering module in BarEye software so that you can place your weekly orders in an automated way with a few clicks based on dynamic pars which update according to your usage. So first of all, let's explain the basis of our ordering system, which is the use of dynamic pars to turn your counts and usage into a suggested order each week. So let's take an example here with Bud Light. The most recent count of Bud Light was 3.3 kegs, and the dynamic par is 4.65. So the system is suggesting to order 2 kegs, which will mean that we'll then have 5.3 kegs or more than the par, and the days on hand after that amount is estimated to be 11 days worth on hand. So let's break that down in a little more detail. So the dynamic par is calculated by the software averaging the usage per day of each product over the 5 most recent audit cycles. So in this case, this bar does weekly counts, so it's taking the average usage of Bud Light each day over the course of those 5 weeks. So once we have the average day, in order to turn it into a par, we need to think about how many days we want to have on hand. Normally you're ordering for a 7-day period, but if you ordered the average amount used in every 7 days, then half of your products would run out. So we use a dynamic par, which is based on what we call the par aim, or the number of days you wish to have on hand. So by default, we set the par aim in days as 10 for your beer products and 14 for your liquor products. The reason we have lower pars for beer is that they tend to be more voluminous, honestly, so they're more challenging for storage. Also, they tend to be better substitutes, where if you've run out one, you can order another, and often just the ordering is required and done on a weekly basis rather than potentially some bars order on a less frequent basis. But that setting is editable, so let's take a look at that. So when we come to the opening ordering screen, you'll see that the par settings show here. If we click there, we can see the default settings, and you can modify those if you wish. So as just explained, the par aim in days is the amount of days worth of product you like to have on hand, and we suggest starting by using these defaults. So in the case of liquor, the dynamic pars will be based on the average amount you use in 14 days, and in the case of bottles and draft beer, it will be based on the average amount you use in 10 days. You can also add a category minimum. So this is a good tool if you are a bar that has 2 different bars, maybe a main bar and then like an upstairs bar, or a bar on your outside deck. You may want to use this setting. So the idea here is that if the par of an item falls below 1, you may actually have a situation where if the par is, say, 0.8 of a bottle and you have 0.9 of a bottle, you already have enough inventory in hand, but you don't have a backup bottle to put behind the second bar. And so if you've got 2 bars, we'd recommend using a category minimum of 1.1 or higher, or if you have 3 bars, putting a category minimum of 2.1 or higher. Most importantly, we'd recommend playing with these settings, and to begin with, in the early weeks when you use this system, compare the suggestions of BarEye software to what you would usually order, and then use that to dial in the results, including these settings here. Additionally, when you come to this screen and start your ordering process, you'll notice that any items which are missing a distributor will be listed here. So in this case, we can see that 40 of the items present at this bar do not have distributor information. If you'd like to see which items are affected, go ahead and click where it says click here. And on this drop down, you can select distributor, and it will change the settings. So we've got 40 vessels where we're missing distributor. To see the exact items affected, go ahead on the far right here and click on this distributor column. These little arrows mean it's you can sort. Click it once and then twice, and then you can paginate. And in this case, we'll have 4 pages of items where we do not currently know who we're purchasing this item for. If you can provide that list of items and distributors to your BarEye account manager, they can update that in the system. And unfortunately, you're not able to modify these settings yourself because we found that it causes errors, and those settings are applied across other clients in your region. That's why we don't allow you to mess with that. Additionally, if we move on to this screen, we can see how we can send emails to the distributors. So once you're using the system and are confident that the suggested orders are good, you can go ahead and start sending emails with your weekly orders. In order to do that, you'll need to set up the distributor emails. So on the browser version on the main menu on the left, click on Products, scroll down to Distributors, and there'll be a full list of all distributors available in your region, but the active distributors you're currently ordering from will be here in green. You'll notice that when we set this up, we use these dummy Yotmail email addresses. So those emails, you can check them by going to yotmail.com and following the instructions, but essentially that email is not going to go anywhere. And so if I, for instance, wanted to start sending email orders just to Gold Coast in this case, I could click edit here and then edit this. So actual email at Gold Coast or whatever it is .com. Phone number is just information on their name. But now when I send and press send order, it will deliver that attachment and email with details of what I need to order to this distributor. And for convenience and reference, the automated orders emails are automatically sent to the account manager so that you will see these items. And one final word is a suggestion to look at the number of weeks on hand. So if we look here on the reports screen and we click on commentary, we'll notice that one of the columns here, you've got your video report link here, and one of the columns is weeks on hand. So what this is doing is it's calculating the amount of inventory we have on hand in each category and then dividing it by the average amount we use per week. So what we found with a lot of experience doing this over 15 years in more than 30 states is that well-run bars keep their weeks on hand at or below 4 times. So we can reasonably conclude that this particular bar is holding a little bit too much inventory, and the biggest offender seems to be in the liquor category. So what we'd suggest is using the dynamic pars and ordering suggestions. Obviously, if you have the ability to get case deals, you'll want to use those, and that will increase your weeks on hand. But in general, other than for getting price deals, ideally we would keep our inventory on hand below 4 times what you use each week, because we've just found that if you're higher than that amount, you're sitting on inventory that's taking up space and just causing risk to your business that product could be stolen, given away, or is just sitting collecting dust and tying up working capital for your business. As always, we hope you find this video helpful. If you'd like to see any other explanation videos, just drop us a line or email. And as always, thanks for watching and being a Bar-I client. Thank you.